raw and uncut. Jiggy Jag, you know how he do it. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it all the way live.
Broadcasting live from Hutchinson, Kansas.
Well, I'm sitting here with a linguist. I had no idea. I didn't know you were, but I didn't know that you were a wordsmith.
Call Jiggy right now. 267-22-JIGGY.
Steady money.
Hey Jiggy, what's happening, man? Reminds me of that David Bowie song. Jiggy play guitar. It's a great name, man. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Presenting
I'm Mike Massey, and you can catch me on Jiggy Jag TV and see a few of my trick shots there. Thank you very much.
Jiggy Jaguar.
I never knew what freedom was until I saw you lose yours.
Okay, you are live. You are listening to the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. We are live coast to coast, border to border on iHeartRadio today. Thanks for joining us. We're going to go to Don Mazzella, IQ Rizzoli. And Black Betty is with us. We also, it's like she was going to talk into the microphone. Betty, do you want to say something? Betty wants to say nothing. Get a hold of us online at jiggyjaguar.com. So, we are going to go to our first guest. He is going to join us via the old Skype. The old Skype-a-rooney. And we are going to go to our first guest. He is going to join us. John Dartnell is going to be with us here in just a few. However, we also have to bring in the fantastic IQ Rizzoli and the fantastic Don Mazzella, and both of them will join us as well for this excursion into broadcast excellence, as the great Rush Limbaugh would say. And we thank you for joining us here on our big, big program, and lots of things are happening. IQ Rizzoli, I believe, is with us. IQ, how are you, sir? What is this? I don't know what is going on there. I have called the wrong person. Look at that. We've got IQ, and we are going to call Don Mazzella, who is going to join us here in just a few seconds. And Skype apparently has a mind of its own, which is always good. So we are going to go, apparently... Oh, I just love Skype. Okay, it's better than Zoom, though, thank God. And we have got Don Mazzella with us. We've also got IQ Rizzoli, and John Dartnell is with us. John, welcome to the program. How are you, sir?
I'm really well. How are you doing?
Pretty good, actually. I wanted to have a little bit of a change of pace today, because usually what we do on our Thursday edition is we have all sorts of shenanigans. And today I wanted to take a little bit different of a path and have a musician on with us. And so, John, tell Don and IQ and myself a little bit about you. How did you get started doing music and all these things?
When's the musician going to turn up?
Oh, okay, yes. That would be you, Johnny boy. That would be you.
When did I start? I'm trying to think when I started. I've always played around with music for years. And it sort of just looked better than working for a living, to be honest. So I got into seriously playing, I guess, when I was about in my 20s. That's when I really started looking at it properly. But I was in a covers band, we were just doing all covers. And then we just kept doing that. And then I got into a country band. I was playing in a country band for about 7 years. And again, all covers. So it's just gone on, but a whole life of music, just been great, And then I got bored with playing covers and people just liking you for the music and not for actually what you were doing.
Yes.
So I got into writing, and that was the big thing for me to get into writing, which is probably 15 years ago.
That's awesome.
And I've released
For us new people, what instruments do you play?
I play guitar. I'm a singer. I actually had 3 years classical training as an opera singer when I was,
Wow.
a kid.
That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
know. I've got the stomach for it now, but I haven't got the voice to be an opera singer anymore. But, it seemed I always wanted to sing, and it just seemed the right thing to do. To have proper training, and yeah, just do it that way around. So that was my background.
I'm going to ask the question which I always ask. The entertainment is 1,000 rejections and one acceptance almost. Uh, uh, what made you decide I will accept that? I will accept that in order to do what I want to do. What does it take to make that? I call it a leap.
The the big thing for me is just the passion. That's all I've ever wanted to do was make music, play music, and I've still got that passion. It's all I ever wanted to do, all I've ever done. There was somebody said to me once, the easiest thing to do in this business is give up, and that was about 20 years ago, and which was sound advice because it is easy to say, oh well, I can't really do this and pack it in, but I couldn't pack it in. It's in me, and I can't ever pack it in. So, and all the time people be playing my music or buying my music, I'm going to be here.
I know. I just admire people like you that can say, "This is my passion. I'm going to sacrifice everything for it." I congratulate you.
Thank you very much. It is that. I mean, it's not easy. It really isn't. Even now, you're fighting for everything you can get. But I'd never give up the fight. I just love doing it. It's great fun. It's just so good. It really is better than working for a living. That's for sure.
That's very true. But I guess my next question: do you make enough money to support yourself, or do you have to have a side gig?
No, this is all I do is make music. That's it. So,
Well, lucky you.
yeah, I mean, I've released 16 albums now. So you get the roll on from the 16 albums, with radio play and, streaming and things like this. So, yeah, it's a long, yes, you do all right in the end. And sometimes I eat as well.
What's your favorite type of song or music? What's your favorite type of song?
I like melodic things. I'm really into voices. So it's the voice, people's voice. I'm still a big fan of the Eagles. Those harmonies, everything about that was just. I saw the Eagles a long, long time ago, and they were actually supporting at the time Elton John. It was their first European tour, way back in the 70s, and it was just one of the best things I'd ever seen. And when I'd heard it, I thought, I've been trying to hear this music forever, and there it was. So I love that sort of thing. I listen to all sorts of people. I really like Gretchen Peters. It's just one voice, one guitar. I love that. On the other side of the scale, I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan, so that's on the rock side. I like melodic things. I like clever songs, and I love voices. It's the voice that always starts it off.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Are you in England or in the States?
No, I'm in England. I live, I'm born and raised in England. I still live here. I do come over to the States 2 or 3 times a year. I will be back in November in the States to promote this album, the new album, plus, doing some live shows and generally having fun.
Where do you do your shows? In nightclubs? In folk? Where do you do your shows?
Clubs, bars, theatres, anywhere. that have us basically. I've got it. There's a bunch
Anywhere
of
that
guys in
allows.
America that I work with. You know, a good, you know, great band, and they work all the time. And then when I tell them I'm coming over, we arrange shows then for me to play. We, you know, do right down in the southern states, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, all around there. America is just so big. As I found out the first time I came over, and I had a radio interview in Georgia, and I was thinking it was going to take me 2 hours to drive there, and I missed it. And I miss the interview by 4 hours. It took me 6 hours to get there. I didn't realise it was so big.
Well, you know, the Queen died today.
I know, very sad. You know, she was a remarkable lady who just, you know, just did so much for the UK. You know, she just dedicated her life to it. It's just unbelievable, lady. And I'm still in shock about that. You know, it's a difficult one to get your head around because she's been there, you know, since I've been born, and there she is. You know, you never expect her to go, and
Yep.
it's true. You know,
They call it the Victorian age. Do you think they'll call it the Elizabethan age for her time?
I guess they will now. Yeah, I mean, and then of course we've got. I assume Charles is going to take over. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I saw a thing on the Drudge Report that I guess he is going to become the king now. So.
Yeah, but you know, I heard a very good rumor that he's going to resign in favor of his son early.
That's what I was sort of thinking, because Charles is 74 or 75, I guess now, and does he really want it at that sort of time of life, you know? Whereas his son has been primed to go for it. So I didn't know if he was going to hand it straight over or not. But I guess.
Well, someone told me once his wife finally got the title Queen Consort, they gave it to her today. So once they give her that, so everybody says she'll be happy, and then they can move on. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's what it is, you know. I mean, I've got no real strong views on the monarchy. It is what it is, and Charles is the next in line, so that would be it. And she's his wife, so it's how it's, you know, should be.
Do you compose your own songs?
Yes, all of them.
Would you consider composing a song about her? Have you thought about that?
No, it's no, I haven't. I wouldn't even know where to start writing a song about someone. It'd be really. I would sit down and try it, really, didn't I? But I guess there are going to be a lot of songs about her very soon.
IQ. Do you have any questions for our music guest, John Dartnell?
Unfortunately, I just joined. I had a computer problem. Can you hear me?
Yep, we've got you, my friend. We've got you.
Unbelievable. I really am very sorry that the Queen died, tell you the truth. I have great and enormous support of the monarchy because it's apolitical. She was never allowed to be political. She brought everybody together. I think with the death of this queen, the monarchy in England, I think, will end up. I might be wrong, but I think it will end up. She went through 16 presidents of the United States of America?
Yeah, I mean, 1953.
She's 94 years old. She started with Truman, and now she's ending up with Biden. So you figure it out.
Yes, she's been there since 1953, I think.
Yes, no, 1953. You're right, 1953.
So,
but she has been a type of monarch who combined spirituality and politics together.
yeah, I mean, she was a very strong person. She held everything together. Amazing lady, just a pure strength. You know, I mean, apparently during the Second World War, she did lots of things during the Second World War. I think she was a mechanic or something at one time. So just remarkable lady.
Yeah, yeah. Great respect. I have great respect. I have no respect for Prince Charles, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but to think of him.
No. It's absolutely fine. You know, tell it as you see it, and I have no problem about that. You know, it's you know we're all different. Charles, yeah, he's a bit of a one-off, isn't he? But you know, we'll see. I don't know where it will go now, but I mean, I think Charles's son's got a lot of strength as well. He seems level-headed to carry things on, and I think we're still okay.
Imagine if his other brother was in line, what we would do.
Yeah, well, that would just be party time, wouldn't it? That would be great.
Can we get back, since you're a musician? Can we get back? I'm always curious. How do you choose your songs? You write your own, but how do you put together an album? I'm going to leave it at that. How do you put together an album that resonates?
Well, this album I'm working on at the moment. I started writing this back in March, and all the songs are written now. We're getting to the final sort of parts of recording. It's one of those things people say, oh, you sit around for inspiration. No, I don't sit around for inspiration, because if I sat around for inspiration, it'd be about 10 years before I wrote an album. Mm-hmm. You have to just get on with it and do it. So, and when I'm sort of thinking about a new album, I'm writing down ideas constantly, and I use my phone a lot. I record ideas into my phone. I might just get a lyric in my head and I'll sing it into the phone. And so I'm doing this all the time, and then I'll get to the point where, okay, well, I'm going to start writing these songs now, and I might have 50 ideas, which will end up probably as 18 or 20 songs, maybe 15 songs, because some of the idea is not as good as it seemed when you recorded it, you know. So, and you start stripping it out and you pick up the best of it. And like I say, I'll end up with about 15 songs. And yeah, that's it. So I try and write and release one album a year. That's the plan. So what will happen, like I say, I've been writing and recording this since March. I've got a bit more recording to do, not too much, but just minor points, you know, redoing guitar parts, things like that. So I guess it's going to be finished by October now. Should all be recorded and done, and we release it in November in time for me to go to America. And then I'd go over to the States in November. I'll probably be there till Christmas, doing whatever I can, shows, radio interviews, and things like that. And then I'll come home for Christmas, see my son, and then I'll go back to America, usually sort of towards the end of January, and I'll be there till March. And then I'll probably take a month off from music altogether and just relax and chill out for a month. And then come sort of April, I'll start writing a new album again. And that's how it goes. It's just a cycle.
Well, John, I really appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us. Before we let you go, my friend, because I got to get to our next guest. They are calling early, I guess. Before we get to our next guest, before we let you go, how do we get in touch with you online and buy your stuff and everything?
I'm on all the main social media sites under my name, John Dartnell. That's JOHN. Dartnell is DARTNELL. I've also got a website which is johndartnell.org.org. So that's that. I've got a new single coming out tomorrow called Forever. And that's coming out tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that one. Had an awful lot of interest. Yeah. And there's a good video on YouTube, which a friend of mine put together for me. So it's worth checking that out. Forever to me, it's called. And yeah, I'm excited to, something coming on.
Well, I really appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, James. An absolute pleasure. Good to see you again.
Thank you, my friend.
Hi.
We have got our next guest with us today. I think we've got Dick Morris with us. Dick, how are you, sir?
Yeah. Good. I'm fine. I'm doing well.
We have got Dick Morris with us today. He joins us live. Of course, he is the New York Times best-selling author. He's a political consultant, and he has a brand new book, which is absolutely amazing. Dick, tell us about your latest book, my friend.